Good job! If you play good in the last 8 games, it gives you a lot of confidence to go into playoffs.
Pretty much, it's not how you start the season, it's how you finish.
The top 3 spots are pretty close right now between TSM, us, and CLG. We definitely can't afford to drop many, if any, games in the last 8.
Every game matters now because one game might be the difference between you being first place or second place.
CLG is the hottest team right now. TSM has what they want, and that's first place.
We're going to be looking to stay on top and to prepare for adapting quickly.
Even though the end of the season is coming up and our score is good, we can definitely lose a lot of those games and just fall to the bottom of the pack.
Some teams can't no longer fight or vie for first place or even second or third.
For the bottom teams, it's going to be quite an intense period.
We had fun in relegation once. That one time was enough for us. We've had enough enjoyment there.
The season sometimes is a bit of an endurance. There's not much point being really good at the start of the season only to crumble at the end.
The motivation is that it's your job, and if you screw up, then you're out of a job. So that's how you get a second win.
Never really had the problem of getting complacent or tired or bored or anything throughout the season.
I honestly just like playing League so much that I don't really need any more motivation. It's like, oh, sick, I get to keep playing, all right.
And we're joined now by Dignitas support KiwiKid and Curse's jungler, IWillDominate. So guys, last 8 games. KiwiKid, will start with you. How you feeling coming into the last stretch of the season?
I'm feeling so-so. I feel like, man, our team could be easily the first place. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people say that about their team, but I mean, we kind of have like the results. Like we beat C9, but we also got stomped by them. But we also got stomped by some teams that like kind of just got a new roster change, which is honestly kind of unacceptable. But feeling a lot better. We've been doing a lot of practice, and I'm ready to tackle it.
All right, you ready to tackle it? Dominate, how about you? Curse is getting better and better throughout the season.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to making like a run in the last 8 games. We're definitely aiming for 4th place, so at least 4th place. So we're coming for your spot, Kiwi. If we just like do what we've been doing in scrims and just try our best, like I think we should be able to have good results in these last 8 games, and that's really what we're aiming for.
Speaking of feelings, both of you guys, your mid laners, have been feeling a little ill. What are any updates here? Kiwi, is Skara all right?
I think Skara's like a lot better than he was maybe 3 days ago. He really needs to work on his immune system though. I don't know why, but he's always, feeling under the weather. But yeah, I think he'll bring his A game today.
Anything for Void Boy there, Dominate?
Yeah, he's feeling fine right now. I mean, he's normally fine during like the whole week. It's just right before matches, like with all like the nerves and like the stress. That's normally when he like feels like a little bit of like illness in his stomach. So yeah, I think he's normally fine. He should be fine today, but if something happens, we'll just act as normal.
All right, well, let's take a look back at the weekend then, because IEM was a pretty big deal. What would you say were your biggest takeaways from the IEM finals?
I think the biggest takeaways were whenever just KTV, they just move so well. Like they don't actually. I was looking back on the lanes, and they don't actually smash it that hard. Like definitely, it's also because Fnatic has pretty strong lanes as well. But like just every movement they make, it's like with a purpose, and they don't ever seem like they're meandering. And I think that's the most important. Just no wasted movements.
Dominate, how about you?
I kind of feel like their pick ban phase is like really, really strong right now. They understand what's OP, and they're willing to pick things that are good into things that EU people think are OP. So I think that they're definitely like a really strong team, and I think that their strength is probably like pick bans and strategy in game.
There's actually a question I want to ask for you guys. So this is the second week. The NA LCS is on 4.3. I want to know if you guys have sort of learned anything like from the weeks, like, oh, this champion actually is on the rise. We're going to play her a lot more. Anything like that?
Yeah,
Rise?
mostly with Rise and obviously Kha'Zix. Like with the new ult, it's just like ridiculous. Like, man, you should just get that at level 11 or something. I don't think. Why can you upgrade the ult on the level that you get the ult? Like that makes no sense, I think. For as strong as the ult is, it's just ridiculous. And yeah, so back to your question, like Kha'Zix, Rise. I think Eve's growing too. I mean, Eve's been growing like the past 2 weeks, but yeah, she's really annoying, especially with the tank builds.
I actually want to follow up that Karma's been getting played a lot. In Europe yesterday, it was played in all 4 games LCS. What's she about?
She's just about really strong. Her laning is like very strong, and it's kind of hard to mess up with her, especially if you go like the Koreans are doing like 21 defense, and with that, even though you're like, oh wait, what about the gold gain from the support masteries utility tree? But with the new Frostfang, it like kind of makes up for that. So you can start the Frostfang and not die because you have so much defensive masteries from the tree.
Dominate, how about you? I know we talked about Kha'Zix a bit.
Yeah, I think that Kha'Zix is one of like the obvious super strong ones on 4.3. Ryze is good too. We've been seeing like a little bit of Jace. So I definitely think that there's like a couple new OP champions, but all the OPs from like the previous patch are pretty much still there. So it's now just like the pool that you had before to like pick from, like Lulu and things like that, and then you're adding in like the Kha'Zix and things like that. So you're gonna have a lot more like counterplay in the pick ban phase because you can leave a couple things open, maybe get 2-3 OPs before you get one.
Great. All right. Thanks for your guys' input. Of course, we got more questions for you guys. We want to get your thoughts on our Twitter question of the day. We're going to ask everybody, which team do you think will benefit the most from the week off and why? I want to ask you guys, how did you guys improve over your week off?
We improved by just we came up with new game plans. We didn't just play scrims just to play scrims. We came in with plans like almost for once, and then we just. After every game, we had a lot more time to analyze things. We spent more time just seeing what champions we wanted to play and how other champions would work with other champions, or some champions would work with other champions. And we actually might have a surprise for you guys this week. So,
I love surprises.
Me too. It's not even Christmas. How about Dominate? How about with you guys?
We just worked on just being more solid in general, kind of sticking to our roots, but just being able to execute a lot better in game. So that was our main focus. And as far as other teams go, I think that EG probably had the biggest change from last week to this week. They're obviously playing with a new roster both weeks. But last week, the whole team was just kind of forming. It kind of felt like an amateur team where you have a bunch of strong players, but they're not really focused. And then in the last week, they really buckled down and they got a lot of focus. And now they just feel like a standard pro team. They feel really strong. So I think that EG is like probably the most improved from both weeks, considering they had a new roster.
All right. Well, thank both of you guys for joining us here today. And for you guys at home, send your answers to @LOL Esports and be sure to use that hashtag LCS. Then stay tuned to see if we use your response later in the broadcast.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere.